Liverpool finally get green light to complete next signing, but Reds will not sign superstar attacker Liverpool have reportedly been given the official go-ahead to push through a deal for Crystal Palace centre-back Mark Guéhi. The Reds are still actively working to strengthen their squad in the closing stages of the summer transfer window. With a new central defender and forward both high on their list of priorities, they also continue to closely monitor the situation of Newcastle United striker Alexander Isak, was understood to have told the Magpies has no intention of playing for them again as he pushes for a switch to Anfield. Guéhi has become Liverpool's primary target to add competition for Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk at the heart of the defense. The England international has been one of Crystal Palace's standout performers over the past couple of years, but he is now in the final 12 months of his contract, a situation that has inevitably attracted interest from several clubs. Speaking earlier this week, Palace chairman Steve Parish admitted that Guéhi could be sold this summer if he refuses to commit to a new deal. Parish explained, "We'd have to make that decision, of course. Allowing a player of his caliber to leave for free is something we simply can't afford." Joachim Andersen moved to Fulham last summer, and losing both would be a major blow. "We also had a bid for Mark in January, but that was a different situation. We'll just have to see where this goes, but ultimately, it has to be either a new contract or a clear resolution." There had been talk of Chelsea making a move for Guéhi after Levi Colwill's recent serious knee injury, but the Daily Telegraph has reported that the Blues will not pursue him, according to transfer expert Ben Jacobs. Liverpool have now been given the green light to complete the deal, with Palace prepared to cash in. Writing on X, Jacobs said, "Liverpool are still expected to bring in a centre-back before the window shuts.
Ow.
The belief since May has been that it would be a late window move." Sporting director Richard Hughes has mainly been scouting defenders aged between 18 and 22, consistent with the club's recruitment model, including Levi Colwill and Lenny Yoro. Colwill was unattainable, while Yoro chose Manchester United last summer. Parma's 18-year-old Giovanni Leoni remains a strong candidate. If Liverpool turned to Mark Guéhi instead, it would be a slight deviation from their preferred age profile, but he represents a market opportunity too good to ignore. Palace's £40 million asking price would likely need to be reduced, and Guéhi would also need to be open to joining in a World Cup year, despite facing competition for regular minutes. Crystal Palace are now open to selling Mark Guéhi this summer, after the defender made it clear he will not sign a contract extension. However, the England international is not actively trying to force a move and is prepared to see out the final year of his deal if no suitable offer comes his way. Meanwhile, one player Liverpool have completely ruled out signing is Paris Saint-Germain forward Bradley Barcola. Despite speculation that the Reds could turn to the Frenchman if their pursuit of Alexander Isak fails, The Athletic's James Pearce reports that senior figures at Anfield have dismissed the claims. Liverpool's stance is that bringing in a left-sided attacker like Barcola would risk blocking the development of promising youngster Rio Ngumoha, who has impressed in preseason and is now considered part of Arne Slot's senior squad. On the Isak front, David Ornstein of The Athletic has revealed that the Swedish striker is adamant he will never play for Newcastle again. The club refuses to sanction his move to Liverpool this summer. Earlier in the window, the Reds' chances of landing Isak looked slim after Newcastle secured champions. League football and the forward wasn't pushing for a transfer, but following Liverpool's approach, Isak informed the club's hierarchy that he wanted to leave St James Park for Anfield. Liverpool subsequently tabled a £110 million bid, which was swiftly rejected. The Reds have made it clear they will not return with another offer unless Newcastle find a replacement and show genuine willingness to negotiate. Transfer reporter Ben Jacobs noted that Liverpool's position remains unchanged. There has been no further bid or significant contact since their offer was turned down. The strong and immediate rejection caught them off guard, given Newcastle had previously indicated they might be open to talks. Jacobs compared the situation to last summer's Anthony Gordon saga. When Newcastle initially seemed willing to sell, but ultimately kept the player after making other sales to meet financial requirements. Ornstein further explained that Isak's point of view. His final season with Newcastle ended the moment he was told last summer that a new contract was not forthcoming. This decision was linked to the club's financial compliance needs. Despite his current deal running until 2028, as a result, the 25-year-old sees no future for himself at the club and has no intention of reintegrating into Eddie Howe's squad. Even if a transfer fails to materialize before the deadline, Manchester United's summer rebuild enters crucial phase. Benjamin Zacco, Brian Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha have added significant firepower to Manchester United's attack, giving Portuguese manager Ruben Amorim new tools to reshape the team's offensive identity. However, midfield remains a pressing concern. Carlos Baleba has emerged as the top target to inject dynamism, ball progression, the defensive solidity into United's core. After a disappointing 2024-25 campaign, the club's leadership is determined to assemble a squad capable of returning to the pinnacle of English football. Signing Baleba would not only be an immediate upgrade but also a long-term investment in midfield quality. But landing the Cameroonian won't be simple. Brighton are known for their firm stance on transfer fees, and Fabrizio Romano has warned that negotiations are expected to be challenging. The Seagulls' successful recruitment model, identifying, developing, and eventually profiting from young talent, has become one of the Premier League's most admired. Baleba, signed from Lille in 2023 for £23 million, has quickly grown into one of the most promising midfielders in the league. Understandably, Brighton manager Fabian Herzler and the club's board are reluctant to part ways with him, particularly with just a few weeks remaining in the transfer window.
For United.
That means either meeting Brighton's steep valuation or risking the collapse of the deal. Having already spent heavily on attackers, its potential transfer could be another massive financial commitment. Possibly the defining move of their summer. With the Premier League season kicking off imminently, time is tight. United host Arsenal at Old Trafford on Sunday, followed by a trip to Fulham and a home fixture against newly promoted Burnley to round out August. Amorim will be pleased to have his new attacking trio ready for the opener. But adding Baleba could be the final piece needed to bring balance and structure to United's midfield. Training intensifies ahead of Arsenal clash on Monday. Manchester United returned to a buzzing Carrington training ground as final preparations ramped up. The upgraded facility set the stage for a high-intensity session, observed closely by Amorim and his coaching team. All of United's summer signings, Mbeumo, Cunha, Zacco, and others took part in the workout. Zacco stood out for his quick feet, sharp finishing, and smart movement in tight spaces. His chemistry with teammates is already developing, offering a glimpse of what's to come against Arsenal. It was also a milestone day for Andre Onana and Lisandro Martinez, both of whom returned to full training after injury layoffs. Onana was commanding in set-piece drills, while Martinez brought his trademark aggression and precision to defensive sessions. Amorim structured the session around pressing intensity, quick transitions, and attacking combinations. Young academy players impressed again, demonstrating poise in possession and energy in pressing. The coaches were vocal about integrating youth talent with senior players, a key part of building squad unity before the season begins. Wide play received special focus, with Mbeumo stretching the pitch and delivering dangerous balls into the box. Cunha operated fluidly between midfield and attack, showcasing sharp one-touch combinations. Youngster Cheeto Obi flashed potential when given space to run at defenders,